What's going on YouTube? This is Kaz and welcome to the Kingdom Perfumes experience. It's so good to have you guys here on my channel today. If this is your first time, welcome. Please consider subscribing and liking this video if you enjoy what you've seen by the end of this video, and it's going to be a pleasure to have you. If you're returning, welcome back. Good to see you again. So today I got a very special treat by Dossier Fragrances. They were very kind enough to let me choose two of their fragrances. And they sent them over. They took care of everything. I didn't have to pay a dime, so I'm very grateful for this opportunity to work with them, partner with them, and review two awesome fragrances. So stay tuned after the intro. Welcome back. So before I get into it, as I do with all my videos, I usually like to start off with a quick and simple prayer. For those of you that would like to skip the prayer and start at the beginning of the video, no pressure, there'll be a link in the description below. For those of you staying for the prayer, let's go ahead and start. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all my viewers. We thank you for this platform. Lord, I just pray that everyone is having a great week and that you just guide them in whatever they may be going through, the tough times, good times. Lord, I just pray that you're with each and every one of us. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, so let's get into it. Dossier Fragrances. So if you guys haven't heard of them before, they're a really great, I would say, kind of clone brand. They make a lot of clones off of popular fragrances, both designer and niche, and they are very affordable. I'm going to show you how it actually works when you buy a fragrance, how the whole sampling works, because they do give you a decant. And there's actually a code that you guys can use, but we'll talk about that towards the latter half of the video. I'll have a link in the description that you guys can go, and there will also be a discount code, okay? So we'll chat as we go along. So we'll start with this box first. Now they come in these really cool white boxes, all right? And very simple. Now my wife and I do love their fragrances. We have a couple from the house, and they do a good job. They get around the ballpark, maybe I would say 90% to the original fragrance that it's an inspiration of, or a clone, or some people would say dupe of. And I enjoy it. It's really good to have a fragrance that you can rely, that gets you close, that you can kind of try out a certain profile with, rather than just blind buying a really expensive fragrance. And Dossier makes it even easier to do that because you don't really have to commit right away, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So when you open the box, you'll see like a little message on the box here: iconic scent, designer quality, no markups. And you'll get a little card, right? You'll see something like that, all right? And then you'll see on the back, so this fragrance in particular is Floral Rose, all right? You'll see the notes, you'll see a little thank you note at the bottom, and some additional details, all right? So I'm just going to put that to the side. Now, Floral Rose is actually a clone of Le Labo's Rose 31. All right, and I'm actually going to do a follow-up video to this where we kind of go over all the clones that we have between my wife and myself, and also kind of comparing them to the real thing to see, you know, how close they are and some of the different nuances. So here's what all the bottles look like. They're all like this. You'll have the name of the fragrance on the front and the notes at the very top. Hopefully you guys can see that. I really hope you can. All right. Now, there's not a lot to the presentation here, and that's perfectly fine because we care about the juice inside. The atomizers are okay, but the magnetic caps just are perfect, okay? Let me tell you. Simple design, but the magnetic caps, I mean, it just goes a long way. You know, it goes so far just having a magnetic cap. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Dossier, for these magnetic caps. So what I meant earlier about the commitment, Dossier always sends a decant, all right? And look, you get a good amount of juice in there. Hopefully you can see that, all right? You'll always get one of these with every fragrance that you purchase from Dossier. This makes it easy for you to try the fragrance, because let's say you get this in the mail and you use this first. If you don't really like it, you can send it back scot-free, no commitment, because this is for you to try out. You don't have to touch the bottle. You can send it back. You'll be good. Now, if you touch the bottle, without trying this first, then you're committed. You might not be able to send it back. So this really helps you. It's like you're already trying to a profile DNA with a clone, and they're letting you try the clone first before you fully commit. So good stuff here. It also shows the concentration level of the bottles on the card. So this is an 18%. I believe it's an Eau de Parfum, and this is Rose 31. So we're gonna go ahead and spray. All right, and the sprayers are pretty good. I do like the sprayers. All right. So good. So I don't remember Rose 31 off the top of my head, but this is really nice, okay? I want to say it's on the spicier side of Rose. I'm going to put the box out the way here. It's on the spicier side of Rose. And it opens up really nice. The rose starts to come through immediately. It has this kind of like watery, kind of aquatic type of rose. I would say more watery than aquatic, right? But it does have some spice in the opening, and I believe that's from cumin. All right. So yeah, let's go into the note breakdown really quick, and then we'll continue exploring. So you're gonna have some rose centifolia in the top. I think that's also Rose de Mai. It's also another name for it, or the Rose of May. This type of rose only blooms in May, so it's one of the nicest roses in the world. And cumin, right? So you're gonna get that rose and cumin. So I remember I told you guys that the rose is starting to come up immediately, and it has some spice to it, and that is from the cumin. Yeah, and cumin could have a cumin has a very kind of like a pungency to it, like a bitterness to it. It's a strong spice, but it can amplify profiles when done well. And it's done well in this. In the heart, you're gonna get some vetiver, some incense, and some cedarwood. And I do get a little bit of the kind of smoky, subtle smokiness in there from the incense, and it is a little watery too. All right, and then it finishes out with the base of musk, cistus, and amber. Yeah, this is a really nice fragrance. Okay, you can't go wrong with this. Is a slightly spicy, smooth, slightly smoky rose. Okay, the rose is not punching you in the face. It's well balanced, and I think this is definitely a good clone from Dossier. So I'm really, really, really excited to get a little sample of Rose 31 from Le Labo and just kind of like, put them together and kind of see how close it gets. So just stay tuned for that follow-up video. So I'm gonna put this one aside now. So that is Floral Rose, which is a clone of Le Labo's Rose 31. The next one is a favorite of mine. Now, when I chose these fragrances, I figured, okay, my wife might love a clone of Le Labo Rose 31, and then I got something for myself. All right, so this is a clone of a famous Frederic Malle fragrance, and this fragrance is called Woody Vetiver. All right, I'm not going to show you guys the card. You've already seen what the cards kind of look like, but here it is, Woody Vetiver. All right, and it is a clone of Frederic Malle's Vetiver Extraordinaire. And here is our wonderful decant. All right, sticker just came off, and I'll put the box to the side. Now let's go ahead and spray this. Now this is really interesting. Okay, I've tried both of these out already, just to get a feel for them. And man, this Woody Vetiver is no joke. Okay, you really got to wear this guy. Yeah. So what you're gonna get, and this is what this reminds me of, right? Almost like a boozy type of like bitter orange. It's like really kind of. It reminds me almost like gin. Okay, like a type of gin or drink. It's that gin type of smell, right? That gin or that tonic type of smell, right? And it's just this bitter orange is just so prevalent. All right. So I like vetiver, and I really want to get to the vetiver, right? But that is what it opens with. Some really, really bright, bitter orange. All right, it's like, hey, I'm here. But make no mistake, this does go away, and it does kind of give a nice gateway to this wonderful vetiver. And the vetiver is smooth, it's clean, it's green. It's a great vetiver, all right? Very woody fragrance. Very woody too as it starts to dry down. So let's talk about the top notes. You're gonna get some pink pepper, some bergamot, and some bitter orange, like I mentioned. All right, so yeah, the bitter orange is definitely in there. You do get a little bit of spice too, thanks to the pink pepper. I don't really get the bergamot that much. All right, the bitter orange is kind of taking over in this case. In the heart, you're gonna get some vetiver, obviously, some cedarwood, and some myrrh. All right, and then in the base, you're gonna get some sandalwood, some musk, and some oak moss. So woody vetiver, this one is a really, really nice fragrance if you're one for dry downs, if you really want to get the full experience. If you like bitter orange, you're gonna love the opening to this. I'm not the biggest fan of bitter orange, to be honest, but I do love the vetiver and what the vetiver does once it starts to dry down. The fragrance starts to, work its magic. Okay, so I do love what it does when it gets going. So, yeah, good stuff. The bitter orange starts to dry, it starts to calm down, and that's my favorite part of the fragrance. Okay, wonderful stuff here. So again, we have a Rose 31 clone from Le Labo. This is Floral Rose, and then we have a Frederic Malls Vetiver Extraordinaire clone. All right, this is called Woody Vetiver. So guys, you guys can also try any one of Dossier's fragrances. I have a custom discount code in the description below. It is Kingdom 10. You'll see it go across the screen, Kingdom 10, or you can go ahead and click on that link as well in the description. It's a custom link. It'll take you right to Dossier's page, and you can also use the Kingdom 10 if it's not already activated by that custom link. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Dossier is a great way to explore a lot of common fragrances, or even less common niche fragrances, for bargain prices through a lot of their clones and interpretations of these fragrances. I highly recommend it. They also give you the ability to use these decants like I mentioned, so you don't have to commit to using the full bottle if it wasn't quite what you expected. So again, thanks so much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoy this video and like to see more videos just like this. Until next time, take care, stay tuned.